Hey, what's up, Backyard Smoke? It's your boy James, and I'm out here with my little man Lincoln. And today we're going to be cooking a pork loin on the Weber Smoky Mountain. But not just any pork loin, it's going to be Hawaiian style. We're going to have some pineapple, some good seasonings, and a wonderful injection. So come on, let's get started. Season this bad boy. We got the fire warming up. We're going to put it in the pit for a nice cook. Say hi, Lincoln.
Hi.
All right, man, you ready to cook? Let's go. So here we have a 5-pound pork loin. What we're going to do first is prep for our injection. Today we're using a peach nectar from the, I think it's pronounced Jame company. It's a really good nectar. It's concentrated, and it's going to really infuse a lot of flavors into the pork loin. I've already trimmed off a little bit of the fat from the top. That was excess. Now I'm just going over the edge again, kind of massaging it and making sure there's no bones or excess flaps that I want. And what we're going to do now is just inject it with the pork, with the peach nectar. Just go up and down on the side. Just really push that in and get some flavors going. The injection is really going to help us stay moist during this cook. I'm looking at about 3 to 3.5 hours overall. So to add in extra flavor of that island taste on the inside, it's really going to set your pork loin apart from what you can get at a restaurant. So definitely, if you're doing this, go ahead and go for it. Also, if you want, use pineapple juice or whatever it is you're feeling. I just tried some peach nectar and it tasted great and said, hey, this would go great with the pork loin. So now we're going to go ahead and place our binder on there. I'm just using some basic yellow mustard, nothing special. This is just going to help the rub sit in nicely. The rub that we're using today is a homemade rub. It's going to be just for some kosher salt, black pepper, some cumin, chili powder, garlic powder, a little bit of cinnamon, and I'll have the full ingredients and I think the measurements I use down in the description. We'll also have the ingredients down there for the sauce. I do recommend putting the rub on quite liberally for the reasons that this will give you a really nice crust as you are smoking this meat for about 3 hours. And it also just gives you a little better presentation. The last thing you want is a light rub and the injection kind of runs it off. So definitely go heavy. It's a big piece of meat. It needs a lot of flavor. You can't go wrong. So be very liberal with this. So I'm gonna bring you over to the grill. We're using the Weber Kettle 22 Master Touch, where we have it set up with indirect with the 2 charcoal baskets from Kingsford, and we have a chunk of peach wood in each one. In the center, we have an aluminum drip pan, and with that, we just have the nectar inside of there. So now we come to my favorite part. We have this beautiful pork loin and she is ready to go on the pit. We have our temperature dialed in right now at about 235 degrees, which is perfect. I'm looking to stay between 225 and 250. Also, it's a little extra flavor, put some fresh pineapples right on top of the pork loin while it smokes. This is just going to provide even more flavor to that Hawaiian taste that we're going for, and the color is going to be beautiful. So we're going to sit here, we're going to let her sit for as long as it takes. Like I said, we're looking at about 2 to 3 hour cook for the size and the temperature that we are working with today. I'm going to go ahead and put a probe into her and just watch the temperature over time. So we'll come back and I'll show you guys the glaze that I made that's really going to finish her off nice and give her some really good color and just one more layer of flavor that you just can't beat. So real quick, I wanted to show you guys a really cool way to put the probe in or kettle grill so that you do not have it laying over the edge or have it risk kind of leaving a gap. First, insert the probe into the thickest part of the meat and then run it right through your top vent. Since my top vent is probably either going to be cracked or open, depending on the temperature of the grill, it's much easier and I won't have any type of interference with my lid having excess smoke leaving out. Today I'm using a Derma probe. I think it's a TP07. One of my favorite probes to use. Also had a TP20. I highly recommend both of those. So go ahead and get you one. If you're a beginner cook, you'll definitely want it. It saves you a lot of time. And I'll do a full review on that later. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys a real quick tip. So we're back at the grill, and right now I think we're probing at around 140 degrees, and it's time for me to put that homemade glaze on there. This glaze is just pineapple juice. I believe there's some honey in there, some cinnamon, a little bit of brown sugar, and what we did was just mix it together. As you can see, I'm heating it up on the off side of the grates over there by the charcoals. This way I don't put anything cold on there, and it kind of just warms it up. And what we're going to do is just glaze this all over the pork loin, and we'll let it rest and let it caramelize right on top. And this is going to be that last bit of flavor that you can use to infuse that Hawaiian island taste in there, and the smell is wonderful. So we'll be right back. So once our pork loin has reached the internal temperature of 145 degrees, we pulled it and we went ahead and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. As you can see, it cuts right down. It's real nice, it's juicy. You can see the nice red up top. That's kind of where the injections were. I stayed in that area so you can see those peach juices there. The pineapples didn't dry out, so it tells us we cooked at a good temperature, nice, low, and slow. This is exactly what you guys want when you're cooking your pork loin. A nice, juicy cut that you can serve to family and friends. So let me go ahead and get this cut, and we'll be right back, and we'll go ahead and get a bite. So the flavors came out superiorly awesome for this. Forgive me while I eat in front of you guys, but I just couldn't wait to dig in. The juices were flowing. You could taste the pineapple, the peach smoke. Everything was just lovely. My family and I, we ate up with this for almost about a whole week and gave some to some friends and family as well. Make whatever you want from it. Sandwiches, fry it up on the stove a little bit, get some more crust for some breakfast. Just be super creative. Other than that, I thank you guys so much. And if you like what you're seeing today, please feel free to subscribe. Other than that, have a blessed day.